Alright, good morning everybody. It's Paul Harrison here on Wednesday morning. Hope you're all exceedingly well. Let's get into it. WPRT, Whiskey Papa Romeo Tango. Okay, we've got a downward trending resistance line here. It's probably a day or two late now, but also be aware that you do have this upward trending support. You're probably going to find a breakout in one direction or the other. If this be anything to go by, you're probably going to find the breakout to the downside because the longer term trend is the stronger trend. But in saying that as well, the upward trending support is the most recent one. So be very aware of that. That is going to impact your taking profits as well. Okay. Then we have Alpha Golf. And a very straightforward downward trending resistance line. One thing I would draw your attention to is this does tend to move very quickly off the resistance line before. You see there how it's moved aggressively, and there how it's moved aggressively as well. So setting up I mean that would have been the perfect entry point right there. Yeah, there we go. AG. Then we have DMD, Delta Mike Delta. Support line around about the the $8 mark, just around about the $8 mark. Maybe a few. It's been a little bit sketchy below there. I think it looks like all those days are still on there, but you're obviously going to have to use that as your stop loss if you're going to trade that trade. Then we have CVE. Again, a downward trending resistance line, but it looks like the stock is already gone. It's already moved off that resistance line. Then we have GRT. Support line at some support around about 11, maybe slightly upward trending as well. So upward trending support line there, maybe some shorter term support around about the $11 mark. It has sold off quite aggressively though. Came down that support line, rallied back up without a shadow of a doubt. If you were to trade this and your ratios work, you're going to have to use a stop order because, yeah, that was a pretty heavy aggressive sell-off there. But then previously it did go quite high as well. So GRT. Then we have VMI. VMI, we have, what do we have here? We had, what the down is? Mid-October, mid-April. Okay, so there we go. Those are the bounces we had there. So early August, mid-October, mid-April, and then now as well. No major issues with that stock. None whatsoever. Then we have DRIV. Resistance line again around the 1785 mark. I think we spoke about this on the Monday webinar. It's put in some pretty big indecision there today. The range looks pretty good, but I think it's probably not as good as what we expected. But certainly worth having a look at the calculations there. Yeah, because there's not a lot of support prior to sort of the $15 mark. But whether that works out with your calculations or not, that would be another question. Then we have MYE. Resistance line at 1540, circa 1540. Yeah, the stock's already hit the resistance line. It had an up day yesterday, probably missed the trade already, but should have come back up and present you with another entry point. Then that might be worth having a look at, depending on obviously your ratios and everything like that. Then we have TPLM. That's TPLM. Downward trending resistance line here. Bounce, bounce, bounce. A big up there, gapped up pretty aggressively there. Again, I'm going to question whether or not that's going to give you a good entry point or not. It looks like, well, I don't know. It's going to have to come down to your calculations there. But apart from that, clear zoom. No major issues. It's quite an aggressive stock. It can move quite a bit, sort of mid-range. Okay, then we have MRC. Again, this was one that was discussed recently. Bounce, bounce, bounce. It's put in some pretty decent indecision there. An aggressive sell-off, and I think we mentioned this as well. There was an aggressive sell-off there, so you've got this indecision that's coming through here. Yeah, I mean, it's still slightly going up, although some of the days are down there. Yeah, sort of 6 to 1, half a dozen the other on that. MRC. Then we have bus. Upward trending support line, showing some decent indecision where it is at the moment. Remember, you put in a doji there, which I would rather it be a slightly up, a green doji, but it's a doji nonetheless. Again, showing that indecision that we would come to expect when it hits support or resistance. What we had here, I think we actually had the stock had missed the trade. So there was some upward trending support, be it there or be it slightly further down as well. But it actually gapped through, so not really overly excited by that stock. The next point would probably be when it came down to the support line at around just above the $15 mark. So yeah, then we have TRV. Upward trending support line, bounce, bounce, bounce. You see, this stock has come down. Put in the doji here. If we can zoom in, it's put in that doji there, and then it's come down again. You see, this is the thing. I would probably feel inclined to use this lowest point here as my stop loss, and I don't know what that's going to do with the ratios. I mean, it's a pretty big stock, but that would be my only concern there. And obviously the trade, it's come back down to the support line now, so yeah. Then we have CL. Upward trending support line, bouncing all the way through. It's hovering around that support line more now than what it was previously. See how it's rallied quite strongly off these other ones here. But according to the rules, no major issues. It did sell off very aggressively here, but seems to have found some kind of consolidation. Now, remember, even though it's still on the support line, it's still going up, okay, which is not a bad sign. Then we have TG, Tango Golf. Again, an upward trending support line. We had some support around about this area. It seems to have rallied off that now, but should have come back down to that support line around about that area. If you've missed the trade, then it might present another opportunity to get into it. Then we have AEM, Alpha Echo Mike. Downward trending resistance line, but I think that trade has gone there. That stock has already gone. AEM. So then we have TMO. Upward trending support line, bounce, bounce, bounce. Again, a little bit of a consolidation, but it has done that before. So that's, if you missed that trade there, then it's not a bad entry point here, as long as your numbers work out, and obviously you've got your stop loss at the lowest point plus 1%, minus 1%, sorry, so it goes down a little bit. TMO, then we have LEN, L-E-N. Support line at around about 36.60. Decent support line there. Highs are getting marginally higher, as we're seeing these points here, but yeah, good range on it. Nice range from 36 to 44. And again, what did it do yesterday? Again, it put in that little doji there, so you're definitely having to use a stop order if you're going to trade it. I'm not a hater. Then we have HOG, which is Harley Davidson, I think. Yep, and some upward trending support line here on Harley Davidson. It's been higher. It's been to new highs this year, and it's showing some indecision there on certainly the horizontal one, but then on that upward trending support line. The upward trending support line is certainly the one I'd be looking to take the trade on, and therefore those rules apply. And then we've got APP. APP. Upward trending support line there, bounce, bounce, bounce. No major issues, no real issues with that, except it's maybe a little bit small. Okay, so that's pretty much the thoughts for this week, folks. Some nice looking stocks, so well done on those, and yeah, all the very best, and speak to you Friday morning. Cheers, folks. Bye bye.